You healed me on this day. Praise and praise to you. When I was feeling ill, praise and praise to you. Down with no direction, praise and praise to you. You guide me yet still. Praise and praise to you. How am I gonna make it? Praise and praise to you. The question I ask, praise and praise to you. When nothing seems easy, praise and praise to you. You lighten my task. Praise and praise to you.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah. Let me assalamu alaikum. Let me greet first.
No, you go right to that and greet after.
Greet after?
Do the Fatiha and then greet.
Okay, let me reset the clock here. Yeah, I'll
Do
count
it
you down.
the way you want to do
Yeah, I
it.
think they should greet first. Just don't jump into it.
Okay.
The only thing I would say about the Fatiha, because you are speaking to an audience, and I don't know if it would take too much time, but do the Fatiha in Arabic and then English.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Okay.
All right.
Because most of our viewers are not.
But not us. That one we just go. Don't worry about that. Just
Okay.
Fatiha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, Bismillah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah ahmaduhu wa asta'inihu. Let's take it back.
Okay.
Cut that.
Okay, let's go back. Okay, Bismillah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah ahmaduhu wa asta'inuhu wa astadihi wa astaghfiruhu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa dahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. I seek refuge in Allah from the rejected Satan. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. All praise is due to Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. I praise Him, I seek His guidance, I seek His assistance, and I beseech His mercy and His forgiveness. I bear witness that there is no deity but Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has no associates and no partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah is His slave, servant, and messenger. I greet you again with the peace and blessings of Allah that only Allah can give you. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome again. Thank you for joining us here at Islamic Learning with Masjid As-Sabur. I have two wonderful guests sitting here to my right, Imam Omar and Sister Adrian. We're here to continue our tribute to our beloved Imam Haazim. Sister Adrian, ladies first. I would love to start with you first and basically start with this show. Now the show started in 2007?
Well, our show started in 2007, around May. We were initially airing pre-recorded programs from Imam Muhammad.
Okay.
The show was called WD Muhammad and Guests. And so that went on for about a year until he passed in September of 2008. And so then I coaxed Imam Haazim. I kind of prodded him to recording, programs from, with him.
And when did this start?
This was, we started recording in December of 2008. We recorded some programs, and we aired them January of 2009.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, and that went on for all the way through 2018.
Is that
2018. Yeah, 2018. And he only took one break, and that was, he came to me one day. He said, Sister Adrian, I need a break. I said, okay. So then I took over. I recorded some shows for about a year, maybe a little over a year, did some interviews and different things and stuff. But after he said it was going to be like for 3 months.
Okay.
He said, just for 3 months, 4 months. I said, okay.
No, when he was big, he used to always encourage me to self-care. You have to know when to say no.
And so,
Even though he wasn't great at saying no. But
yeah.
yes.
So yeah, he was good. I said, okay, I'll do something. And so after about 3 months, I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna take it back. So we were at the board meeting, and he said, yeah. So Sister Aikman is now our new TV show. So I'm like, I'm just joking.
So you must have been doing a pretty good job.
He must have felt I was. He did feel
Okay.
it, and I was honored. I was honored that he trusted me, to take over the show and to present. And so yeah, but and after a year or so, I was like, how did he do it? Because he was so steadfast, and so it really gave me a lot of appreciation and respect for just the length of time that he put into the show, as well as being a man and other things. So yeah, so.
Do you have any, just thinking back, and I know I'm really putting you on the spot right here, but just thinking back, do you have any particular of the show, any number of the shows, or any one particular show that was your favorite show by Imam Haazim?
I can't really say any particular show. It was just the fact that he always presented in a way that was just so simple and clear and plain, so that someone who wasn't Muslim, they could listen and really apply to their own lives, whether they were Christian or Jew or anything at all. He was just able to take Islam and make it practical for people, for the audience. That's what and just consistently. So that's just what I always admired about the way he taught. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So he did the show, you said, from 2000, so 10 years? 10 years run?
10-year run.
That's great, that's beautiful. As far as his philanthropy, did any of those things, those topics come up during the show? Did he ever focus on that, or it was more so from an educational standpoint?
He did. He covered business. He covered, just basic pillars of Islam. He covered prayer, and he did a topic on jihad. What is jihad?
Okay.
And he broke it down, so simple and plain and clear, so that because he knew people were. He addressed our show, knowing that most of our audience was non-Muslim, so he wanted to give them a clear understanding of people were hearing all these terms, terrorism and jihad, and so he broke it down and made it plain and clear to them, so they can understand.
So that's what I was thinking when you said that. So some of the misunderstandings that we know are out there. You're saying that he addressed that and gave a better understanding with jihad more so being a struggle.
Right.
And of course, with our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, stating that the biggest struggle was the inner struggle, the struggle with self.
Yes.
Right. And so that show had to be, I see when you were reflecting on it, even though you said you didn't have one of the favorites, that had to be one of your favorites.
Yeah, he did a show called What is Jihad, so that was one of my favorites.
Okay. Yeah. Do you remember anything particular that you know how you're waiting when someone is explaining something that you know is misunderstood? Was there just something that he said or a point, or was it the entire show that you were just so happy that he was able to get out there to the viewers?
It was the topics, the hot topics, jihad, terrorism, and just those hot
Suicide
topics. Yes, those he just addressed them. He addressed those hot topics in ways that gave a non-Muslim audience understanding. Okay, that's not what it is. Muslim, that's not what it is. So that made me feel good.
That's great. That's great.
That made me feel good.
So finances. One of the things that I know that he always told me is you have to reduce your contracts to writing. He was trying to get me to invest. I know there are laws and stuff. Did he ever do a show on investing or just finances from an Islamic perspective?
He did a show. I don't remember the topic, but I know he did a show on Islamic finances and usury and interest and all that stuff. He did a show. Yeah.
Yeah, just so many things that he was had expertise on. And I know that it was just so many different shows that he could do. I've sat down and I've watched some of the tapes myself. I haven't gotten through all of them. I was privileged to be able to just sit down with him and have tea. So now I'm in a state where I have to go back and watch the show, and for the most part, just remember some of the things that he shared with me, and to just be able to reflect on that and use them and hear his voice telling me out. One of the things I'll always remember is he was a stickler for being prompt, and I could hear his voice, and I'm not one of my strengths. I could hear his voice and like saying, "Brother, where are you? Are you gonna make it here on time?" Anything else, Sister Adrian, about the show or about Imam Haazim that you would love to share and you would love for our viewers to know?
Well, we have all the shows that he aired. We have all of those that we're gonna create a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And we're gonna upload, archives of his footage so that, his words can keep, inspiring other people. So everybody out there who ran into him in grocery stores, he would tell me, he said, he told me once, he said, when he, first got in the air, he said, people would come up to me, I seen you on TV. And he said, yup, wasn't me? But I think he got a kick out of, people, being recognized and stuff. And it's so, and that was just funny to me. But we're gonna archive a lot of those programs on YouTube channel so that other people can, keep,
So is there any estimated time that our viewers can look forward to that being available to them?
We'll, within the next couple of months, we should start having stuff uploaded. But we'll keep everybody posted, and
okay.
You can announce on the show.
Okay, thank you. I look forward to that. I look forward to being able to just go on YouTube and pull my brother up.
There's a lot of footage,
Definitely.
And that saying, don't die with the book in you. Well, his life was his book. His life was his book. So it's like, and he left everything on the table. He didn't hold anything back, and I think he left empty like a good person should.
Yes.
He emptied himself out of all his works, all his teachings, his deeds, everything. And he was just so steadfast and consistent. And so, to me, that's just being able to have that example as a community member and seeing that consistency in him. That's inspirational for me to say, okay, let me step up let me empty myself out.
Yes, definitely. And he would challenge you. That's one of the things that I loved about him that was great about our relationship, is that he was able to challenge me. And I challenge you in a way that you can appreciate, that you feel roused, and he may even, but that was his intent, to rouse you and inspire you to get up, get out, and do something. To be better. Anything else, sister, before I go to email home?
Just, we love him and his wife and his children, his legacy, and I think he planted a lot of seeds, and it's up to us to just keep watering them.
Yes, and cultivating, and
making ourselves better,
definitely, as the Imam said, and weed out all that bad stuff. Can't forget that. Yeah. Imam Omar. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. I wanted to start with you. So you were the Imam here for Masjid As-Sabur for 8 years, right?
Well, I think from '99 until the end of 2007. So I think around December, January. I can't remember exactly, but somewhere around there.
So if my math is right, that's probably 8 years.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Tell me, in a nutshell, I know this show is about Imam Haazim, but what was it like, starting off here? I know you guys started off small.
Actually, we started off, and I'm going to bring you up to where the Imam came to us. We started off in the storefront, across the street from where our building exists now.
Okay.
It was next door to a barber shop. and we were there for 6 years.
Okay.
And we were able to raise enough money to buy the property that the masjid sits on now, which includes the two homes on both sides. So we were able to, with the help of Allah, to develop this property and build this beautiful edifice to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, I was the imam, like I said, from '99, and we started off, and I say I started the building fund over there in that little storefront, and I made a little sign with a thermometer on it, and at the bottom was where we started with the amount of money, and we was going to get up to this certain amount.
Right.
And just a note also, the tree that you see in back of you, that tree started as a little seed. Brother Jamil Ali bought the little plant and stuck it in the corner where the sign was, where the thermometer was. He stuck it there. That tree has been with us ever since then. That's the same tree. But we raised the money, we bought the property, and we were here for that length of time. And I remember when Imam Haazim came to our community, he and our beloved sister Janice. And they came in very unassuming, very humble, and he just started working. He just started, because my whole thing, for anybody who would come to our community, first thing I would say to them is put the work in front of them. Because as soon as you put the work in front of them, that lets you know whether they were serious about wanting to be a part of the community. If you put the work in front of them, a lot of times you didn't see them no more. Yeah. Imam Haazim came in, didn't faze him a bit, he came in to work. And he did. He was with us for 2 years. And one day Sister Janice came to me. She said, Imam, why don't you let Imam, why don't you just call Imam, why don't you let Brother Haazim teach sometime? I said, does he want to? Yeah, I think he would love to. I said, no problem. Because I would teach every khutbah. Very rarely did I have anyone to fill in. Because back in those days you didn't have that resource. And so I said, absolutely. And I went to the imam then, Brother Haazim. I said, Brother Haazim, why would you like to teach some khutbahs? He said, yeah, I'll do it. I said, alhamdulillah, you got the next one. You might have the next 2 or 3, So anyway, he jumped right in on it, and he started teaching, did a beautiful job, had a beautiful delivery. I said, alhamdulillah, this is wonderful. Then I think we're asking the people to join our board, the board of directors, the board of trustees, and he agreed, and we put him on the board. So he worked, and he brought a lot of good information that really helped us to grow and to move forward and to organize. And in time, it just so happens after, in 2007, I had a personal tragedy. I would say, I don't want to call it tragedy, but a certain situation where I had to resign. And at that time, I had thought long and hard about that. Imam Haazim had been with us, and Brother Rashid, Haazim, he had been with us for 2 years. And I knew, the believers knew him by then. And I also knew his character by then. And I felt very comfortable. I say this, I tell people this all the time, I never would have resigned at all, regardless of circumstances, had I not known or felt comfortable that the community was going to vote him in. And I just knew that. And they did, of course.
You knew you were leaving in
Absolutely. Or I never would have resigned. I wouldn't have done it. Because this is too important to leave in anybody's hands. So, but I was very comfortable with that. And so because you have to be elected into this position. You can't just walk in, or somebody can't say, oh, well, we're going to have him. No, the community votes.
Right. So not only were you confident in Imam Haazim,
yes,
but you also were confident that the community saw in him what you saw.
Absolutely. I have no question. And it definitely proved out that way. They voted for him hands down. And I was very comfortable and very happy and I was able to relieved, because then I was able to go and deal with my problem. And he took it from there, and we grew and grew and grew, and here we are. This is a result of all of that hard work. And he was a catalyst, I must say.
Okay. So before you just take us from the inception of him becoming Imam, you can't leave out all the great stories in between to here we are right now.
Yes.
So share with us some of the things that that you thought were remarkable about our brother, that just, things that come to mind?
Well, I can tell you this about Imam Haazim. He had a hard exterior, and he wanted everybody to think he was that tough, But when you got to know him, you knew his heart was so big, and he was so warm and generous and kind, that you knew that was just a facade that he put on there. Of course, if he had to grow tiger's teeth, he could.
Yes.
I remember the Imam Muhammad once said, sometimes you gotta grow tiger's teeth.
Yeah.
You're in a situation. So, and he was able to do that too. But I was more his nemesis. We bumped head all the time.
Yeah.
And it was good for him, believe me, because he thought he knew everything anyway.
Right.
So I had to bring him down a few times, and he'd bring me down a few times, but I had the utmost respect for the brother.
Yeah.
Enormous respect for him. And I think, hopefully, inshallah, I hope he knew that. But I say that Imam Haazim, when it came to just having a good heart and doing whatever he could for anybody, he would do it. And he would do it. It didn't matter who came to him. Of course, there wasn't no pushover. I don't mean it that way. As far as that was his personal, I'm talking about his personal life, his personal finances, his personal giving. I'm not talking about the masjid. When it came to masjid money, he was like I was. We're going to hold that purse string. It better be serious before we open that pocketbook. But when it came to his own personal money, his personal giving, the heart as big as all outdoors.
Yeah, and I would say that being someone that he counsels often, I think it depends on who's receiving it. I'm someone, I needed that tough love.
Sure.
And so he didn't sugarcoat things when he gave it to me, but I always appreciated it. I never thought it was coming.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
He would just tell me, and he may not tell me, right? Like a couple of times he had to counsel me and another Muslim brother, and we worked together, and we were bumping heads. Mm-hmm. And so Imam Haazim was the mediator.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And so I'm pushing back, and he's telling me it's this and it's that. And you know how he would just, he would look back up at the sky, and he would be like, okay, we're going to conclude this one, and we're going to have another session. And then when it was just he and I, he was like, brother, you need to do this and do this and do this. It's not always about being right. You want to succeed. And so I could appreciate that, where he didn't tell me in front of the other brother, but recognized what it was that he felt I was doing wrong, and that I had lost sight of the bigger picture.
Well, yeah, I think that that was his counseling style.
Yeah.
And I think you weren't the only one that he would give that kind of counseling, good advice to. Many of the brothers and sisters would take advantage of that, of his wisdom and so forth. Earlier I said that I hope that he respected me, but I know he did. And I say it because, and he knew, like I said, I was his nemesis. There was no question about that. With him and I, we would go back and forth about issues, not about Islam or about the respect or none of that. It's always about policy or what we were doing. We were trying to, organize or something. And whenever there was a crisis, this is why I knew I just felt comfortable that he loved me and that he did respect me. Whenever it was a really major crisis, I could always count on that phone ringing. He would call me and he would ask me, well, what do you think about this, brother? How do you feel about, what do you think, how do you think we should handle this? He would always call and ask. And I would give him the best advice I could. And that's when I know, that's why I say I think I know how he felt about me, and hopefully he knows how I felt about him.
Alhamdulillah, brother. One of the things that I'm trying to just draw out of you is one of the stories that I know many of us in the community, especially us being new to the community and only having a short time with the brother, just one of the stories that you can recall and you can share with our audience. Mm-hmm. Something, whether it's humorous or lighthearted or inspiring about our brother, a specific incident.
Yeah, specific incident. Well, the reason why it's so hard to do that is because there are so many. I mean, every day between the two of us, we were dealing with something when it came to the community or whatever. So it is difficult to recall any specific or particular time that we had something like that. Nothing really stands out that was so extraordinary that I can recall it like that. You know, so I wish I could give you a story like that, but I really can't because, like I said, they were all eventful.
Well, I'll share one in closing. Me and Imam Haazim, we used to go back and forth, but in a more lighthearted manner. We were chess buddies, and so I shared this after his janaza here when we were gathered and celebrating his life and his accomplishments. And so I think it was one Friday after Juma, I had gave him the business, and we were going back and forth about it. So he had me over the following Friday. So he gets out tea and everything, and he could take his shoes off, brother, and get comfortable. And the brother just massacred me, kicked my butt, and I'm like, okay, I'm setting up the pieces, and he just, I was like, what you doing? He said, I'm tired, brother Hassan. You go and take that loss and you think about that. So I was like, man, you're not gonna give me no action back and win. He was like, nah, you think about that. I enjoyed having you over. I'm a little tired, man. I'm gonna go give me some rest now. So I was like, wow, I wanted to get back, but he kicked my butt, taught me a lesson. Let that simmer in, sink in, and that's how he was, wanted me to reflect on that for a minute. It was a very humbling experience. I love him for that. I guess we'll close. Sister Adrian, I really appreciate having you and all that you had to share.
Yeah, and another thing that, our community is known throughout the entire Muslim community as being the most stable basket in this community. He was a big part of that, just fiscally and, but he managed our board, just with that financial background, he just fought, he made us fiscal. And that was known throughout Sacramento,
Alhamdulillah.
the most stable board in Sacramento. So.
We'll close with Asa. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا